Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Audible Angels Live. This is your Earth Angel, Marlena, and today I'm being joined with my good friend, Gary Pincus. I met Gary a little bit over 4 years ago when he was speaking on one of his large summits, and we spoke and had a session with him. I used his MP3s, and let me just say that what we did together was a awesome cleansing of a new home that I had purchased. It was full of negative entities and ghosts, and there was just some spiritual energy left here and emotional energy left here. So I needed to call on somebody who knew what they were doing, who was gifted to the field. And when I asked for guidance, I ended up with Gary Pincus. So he connected with me a couple weeks ago, and I was just in the midst of starting my summit here, and I asked him if he wanted to join me and be a guest speaker. So so today's an awesome day to bring Gary on with me. Before we begin, if you have questions, get them ready for Gary. Also, if you're able to, you can chat in. Good morning, Bianca. I see you there. I might not see it right away because I'm working with Gary and all these gadgets going on here, but we're going to get through that today. Do want to say somebody on this call today, you have to stay on till the end. Do not hang up. If your phone drops, call right back in. Because sometimes the energy wants to act up when we do a call like this, so just beware of it. And we're in Mercury retrograde, so a lot of things happen, and we just have to say, oh well, let's go, and we just do it again. So sometimes that energy wants to interfere with Gary's work and my work, and I just keep going. So know that we're going to keep going forward, but someone on this call is going to win 10 minutes free with me. They are to stay on the call after we're done, and we will speak after that. I'll name them during the call. So it has to be somebody on this call that is live on the call, so I can speak directly with them. So there's that. And want to follow along when we do Gary's special offer. Go to the link on the website for special offers under audibleangels.com. You have to put the straight line in between the Audible Angels. For some reason, when I got that site, they demanded I put a line in between it. I'm like, thanks. So anyway, it just separates the Audible and the Angels. And then there are some Audibles on the website. You can check them out. So clearly we have gotten our chakras ready for today, and I'm sure that Gary has a process for us later. But right now, I'm going to bring on Gary Pincus, and for those of you just joining us now, Gary Pincus is very powerful in what he's doing. When he sees something, it's serious, all right? He will tell you what he sees or feels, and he is able to remove it. It's always good to have a session with Gary and work with his MP3s, especially the Silent House cleansing one. I really like that. I'll talk about it later, what it's done many times. And I want Gary to share a story that he shared with me about that restaurant issue there that I remember. That was pretty incredible. Right now, let me introduce my good friend, Gary Pincus. Gary Pincus, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I am doing well. Hi, Marlena. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be when you're listening. I am bringing in all the masters to create sacred space. Thank you, Marlena. Before you started the recording, you did a clearing of all the chakras, and we'll do some more of that later. So, the subject for today is negative entities, and clearing negative entities is like a gateway, allowing you to get to whatever is underneath. It's not actually quite as simple as I just said. is negative entities can be anywhere from just kind of like a minor pest to something serious enough, like an example would be voices telling you to harm yourself or others. And that, a friend of mine was hearing voices from actually from a demon in her case, telling her to drive off a cliff. And she spent several months in a mental hospital recovering after she drove off the cliff. So they basically, they can be attracted to somebody who's really a bright light and just wants to be doing things to dim that, take it down. More often, they're attracted to negative energy of some sort, whether that's anger, your own self-judgments. Very often, anyone who has any sort of addiction, whether it's substances, food, cigarettes, that is an opening for entities. Being in crowded places, especially something like a hospital, airports, shopping, you're surrounded by people and entities can jump to you. So we'll go into some techniques for shielding. I have some MP3s about that. And how to protect yourself. Okay, so entities again. In most cases, they're relatively harmless. They'll feed on your energy when you don't have 100% access to your energy field. You're not functioning at your top. I'm not sure what word to say. You're not at the top of your game. Even if the entity that's taking its little space, 2 or 3 or 4% of your energy field, that's still siphoning off something, and it's an interference. It becomes like almost like an itch you want to scratch. It may not feel that way, but it's on the surface there. So being able to remove that. Entities can come and go. I remember one time I had checked on somebody and she had somewhere over 20 entities in their field. Some people will get hundreds or even thousands. I usually get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, sometimes 10 or 20 or so. But she ended up signing. The person had the 20 plus entities signed up to do it with me. And when she came in, she only had, I think, 2 or 3 or 4. So what happened to the others? She said, well, when I did the reading on you several days ago, you did have 20. Now you have 3 or 4, so they can come and go on your own as you're doing practices to raise your vibrational field. They can leave. Another thing I find is when I check on somebody, I might say, let me pick a name, Susie. Does Susie have any negative entities? I'm getting 3, no, 2, no, 1. So just in the process of checking the way my energy field works, very often the entities leave, and then I still continue to clear them and create a field of protection. So underneath that, very often, are things like doubts about our self-worth, all the things that we have from childhood programming. Most of the programming we came from our parents, and sometimes from other family members and friends. And they really didn't have the credentials and the experience to program a child in a way that would be beneficial for our growth, for our sustenance, for our abundance in all areas of our life. So being able to reprogram ourselves, find the thoughts that are underneath the feelings, and know that all that, those thoughts, feelings, emotions, are only energy passing through. And this energy can be changed, altered, and upgraded. We are in a place where the energies of the planet keep upgrading more and more. The Schumann frequency keeps increasing. Overall, it's on an upswing. And the Schumann frequency is something that was a constant for so many years. Scientists were thinking of using it as a measurement for time, etc. And it's not a constant. It's something that's been upgraded. It's like a basic life pulse of the planet. So being able to connect to the earth, staying grounded, staying centered is very, very important and essential. I could ramble on for a while, but I'm going to open it up to Marlena and other people for questions.
Yeah, Gary, I want to ask you, Gary, how did you get started doing what you're doing now?
Well, I've had a lot of different teachers over the years. I've been doing healing work for somewhere around 40 years, 40 plus years. If the specifics on clearing entities, I was taught this by somebody over 11 years ago. And I want to thank my partner, Robin, for that, because she basically said, you need to study with my friend Teresa. And I did, and basically I was an excellent student, picked up what she had, and since then I've learned a lot more as well. So.
Yeah, amazing, because I listened to some of your, testimonials, and they're like, phenomenal, amazing. That's the only words I can think of, at this moment. Right now, what's coming to my mind is the one with the silent house cleansing or clearing MP3. I use it all the time. That one story you told me about the restaurant or something, they were having trouble there. You want to share that one? You recall what I'm saying?
Sure. Yes. This was a restaurant in Canada, in Montreal, and the part of the story, and this wasn't verified, is probably during the 1930s, there were several people murdered in the restaurant, so there was really some negative energy there. The owners were looking to sell it, and they had some other things, so the owners started playing the silent clearing MP3, and she had one customer who had really negative. He'd come in there and he'd ordered, I think it was 8 meatballs for lunch, and he'd have a beer with each meatball. This was an Italian restaurant. And the day she started playing the MP3, he came to the door. He would not go in. He sent in one of his employees to get his order and sat on the patio outside and never set foot in the restaurant again.
See, so, amazing how a silent recording is powerful. And I just was like, yeah, and I'm sure that people are like, wow, let me get that right now. So, yeah, I have used it when I'm, got my on it in this house, and I went outside with it too, all right, around my property, because attached to here is an apartment, like a mother-in-law size thing, and I had 4 tenants, all right, and each one of them had addictions in that place, and they were irate. They wanted to fight with me, and I'm a very, calm, loving, joyful lady and giving, and they would be like, we're not leaving, we're not gonna pay the rent, and calling me names and fighting and this and that. And one was an ex-police guy, and he's like, gonna punch me and this and that. I said, don't let me open this door, because what I have in my hand right now, I'm gonna cut you up. I was that upset with him. And he was screaming, I'm not gonna move out. And I said, you'll be out of here in 3 days. You'll take me to court. I said, I ain't paying a dime to get rid of any of these, Gary. And I played each time, and I sent these angels over there to scream in the atmosphere to get out now continuously, and each and every one of them left within 2 days, 3 days. No, no problem at all. They just moved right out. So that silent MP3 does work, because I was playing it by the wall that's connected here down the end of the house, and I closed the back bedroom here, knowing that the lady who lived here years beyond had been sick, And I felt it when I moved in, very, energized with the feelings of the homes and the land and the people. So I know who to connect with, very powerfully. And when I connected with you, I said, that's the one. And so we went to town and we started to clear out entities, emotional, energies, vibrations that were left here. The energy of the sick has left now, and the whole house is just cleansed. And the new tenant is helpful, all right, and does all of his work, and all that. He's quiet. If I need help, he's right there. It's great. So this is my testimony about that one MP3, but the other ones, I use them when I need them. But the silent one, I love to play it because I'm on summits, or I have, sessions and group calls and things, and it really calms down the people, and they relax, and they actually receive what they're supposed to receive. So when Gary's on this, everyone, know that his energy, the vibration that he carries, is calm, it's peaceful, it's loving, it's pure, okay, and it's of divine light, or he would not be working with me. I can tell you that right now, because out of all the zodiac signs, I am the one sign that is the most intuitive, okay? And so I pick up on people's thoughts and what their agendas are, all right, and what's going on. And Gary picks up on the negative energies, entities, and other things that are shown to him. So be aware that you can't hide anything when Gary's on the call. So all the energies that are not of the light are shaking right now. They are just like, oh my goodness, I can't bother that person no more. No, not the ones on this call today, and not the ones that will be to our replays. With that said, Gary, do you want to take somebody's question that's on the call? I can unmute somebody.
I just want to add one or two things.
Okay.
The silent clearing MP3 is totally silent. I had a sound engineer go over and remove all the hisses and pops. So if it's something that you choose to order, just know it's totally silent. So there's nothing wrong with your computer or phone that you're playing it. One other story, the restaurant owner who had that one time she wasn't playing the silent clearing MP3, and she was just feeling this really negative energy and like an attack coming at her. And so she went and put the MP3 on, and there was a man sitting there eating pizza, and he got up, grabbed his granddaughter by the hand, and they left the restaurant without even finishing the pizza. As soon as she put this on, it just countered his energy and made him feel so uncomfortable. I'm not sure what it made him feel. He left.
Yeah, because when they have those energies, they can't take it.
Feeling uncomfortable. Saying it made him feel uncomfortable is projection on my part. I don't know what he was feeling. The only thing I know is a story I heard that as soon as she put that on, he got up and left immediately.
Yeah,
there's more.
Yeah, you can share more if you want, because we got time. I mean,
I think that's it. I'd like to take some calls, see who has questions. And by the way, if I'm saying something, go into your own knowing, know if it's, safety is the first thing. So if I'm asking or giving information, does it feel safe? Does it feel true? I'm not always correct. I have a real high percentage of being correct, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be correct in every single instance. So just be aware of taking care of yourself as well. So with that, I see and again, I've got the masters here creating sacred space. I'm asking everyone to have their angels. And before I take any calls, just breathing in deeply from behind your heart, bringing in a breath. Any walls you have protecting your heart, allow them to open up and be filled with love and light, knowing again that you're safe, that you're being held in love and compassion. And the other piece that Marlena was saying about very calm, I have testimonials. The one word that comes through in almost every single testimonial is the people feel very calm after working with me. Lots of other things as well, but that is kind of the universal thing, that I do have that gift of being calm and sending that energy so other people can feel it and have it in their lives. So, who would be first?
Yeah, especially now what everybody's going through. Whether they feel stressed or not, the energy around us is all stressed. I'm going to try and unmute the caller. The number is like 316 beginning. Let me see if that one will. Okay. Can you hear me, 316?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who are we speaking with?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is Sarah from the Netherlands. I didn't even raise my hand.
That's
so
okay. We don't have to do that on this.
Okay. Well, thank you. I have a question for Jerry. I have been to the dark night of the soul, and I had a relationship with a narcissistic person, and I spent 2 years in a pre-psychosis of fear. I had to be hospitalized. It was really horrible. I'm out of that now, luckily, but I feel very, very tired. So I am wondering if there are any entities outside who don't belong here.
I'd be happy to check. I did not catch your name. Tell me again, please.
Tera.
Like Tara?
Thera.
Yeah, Tara.
Okay. Well, hi, Sarah. Yeah, let me check. See what I get. So, Sarah, you may find that you're feeling a lot clearer now just being on the call and talking to me. What I did get was there were two negative entities, and they're already gone. So I didn't have to do any clearing. Do you notice you're feeling any clearer, any lighter, any calmer at the moment?
Yeah, that's more, I feel more space. It's more spaciousness.
Yeah, so there's a number of, so I didn't really have to do any work, as I was saying before you came on. A lot of times, just as in the process of checking, the entities will leave. Something about the way my energy field runs, the entities leave. So what that's about is they're attracted to negative energy, low vibrational energy. Probably a lot of people, not everyone on the call may be familiar with Dr. David Hawkins' scale of consciousness, where he created basically from 0 to 1,000 for living beings. Anything below 200 is kind of negative and pulling energy down. Above that is life affirming. Love is at 500. Christy Marie Sheldon talks about love or above a lot, if anyone's ever listened to her. So that's what she's talking about, that 500 plus. So being anything you can do. Laughter is a great technique. Like laughter yoga, if you can just laugh, it resets your brain. And for everyone on the call, everyone listening, a great way to do this. One of the MP3s I have is about creating a shield of blue light around yourself. So this, just like a reverse osmosis filter, filters out impurities. The blue light works as a filter to remove anything low vibrational, like again referring back to the scale of consciousness, anything harmful, anything negative, anything that might be attacking you. And it allows in high vibrational energy, the good stuff. So got the bad, allows in the good. So the way I do this is to visualize Archangel Michael above you and poking it with his sword, and the sword is glowing with lapis lazuli blue light, circling around you, create a bubble, a cylinder, a shield of blue light. That lapis lazuli blue light, if you want to visualize it, look up a prism, and the blue light in the prism is a really deep blue. So it's a translucent blue, it's light. So having that light surrounding you is protection. And again, it works as a filter. And that doesn't mean that you don't have to remove any entities first, and there's techniques for that. So, anything else, Sarah?
No, that's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, stay on the call because we're going to do a process later. But what I'm sensing for you is to see if you can grab Gary's package today, because, well, beside the silent MP3 clearing one, the blue light one, the one for the negative thought forms, so that they, don't come back. You know what I'm saying? Or if you feel sad again, or them thoughts come back about the, old junk that happened to you, trauma, you can put that right on, and it will, clear that for you. And those energies that want to keep, bothering people from time to time, we all have that negative thoughts come on, they're not ours. We should have something to back us up. All right. So I want you to know that you are being blessed right now. And I'm sending also some beautiful angels to surround you today and tonight. And listen back again to the replay because you get so much more when you're not all nervous up about being on, So thank you so much for sharing that with us and allowing Gary to help you to, rejuvenate it, because that was one of your words today, Gary, was, get people like energized and excited again and bring their joy back. So thank you so much, all the way from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
All right, so.
And it's interesting too. This is a judgment on my part, and I recognize that, but it seems like I've had a disproportionately high number of people I've worked with from the Netherlands. So there's something there where people are really interested in their own personal growth, really claiming their sovereignty in their energy field. So something about the Dutch people and the energy in the Netherlands is a real positive. That doesn't mean that negative stuff doesn't happen, because there's something very positive there too.
Yeah, it's drawn to you, right?
Yeah, we can say that for anywhere in the world, but I'm just wondering what the coincidence is about the Netherlands. So anyhow, thank you for being.
Well, your light shines out, and it how do we put it? It's a vibrational match for what this group of people needs. And so it connects with your vibration, and then somehow you connect. And today you connected with that beautiful being that needed that support. And see, now there's another person beaming brighter over there, So, congratulations for the Netherlands connection that you have, And,
And I just want to, Maria, let me add one other thing too. When somebody's had, we've all had relationships, even if it's only with parents or siblings or friends, there's almost always some sort of cords or fibers. And a lot of times when we end the relationship, those cords or fibers are still there. That's one of the things I'll work with when I work with people one-on-one, is removing those cords and fibers that really create clarity for somebody. And not just removing them, because when you cut them, there needs to be a healing, so there's not, it's like pulling out a cord or fiber, healing where it's been pulled out.
Yeah, because I had a person, Gary, not too long ago, and they were so angry that every relationship, turned on them. And I told them what it was, but they said they never wanted to love again. And I had to work with them a few times and heal that and forgiveness work, So it's a lot of clearing. And then you can come in the background and go clip, clip, cut, cut. I'd be working for days, right? So it's just, I'm like, amazed at how quick some of your work really is with people. Because
Thank you.
a lot of hurt and pain after a while, if they, didn't know how to release it and let it go and move on, and just open their heart to higher love and, better love vibration, that's where your work can come in and remove that old cord, we'll call it, and open their heart back up and heal that wound, okay? Because I know I have been through a lot, and the marriage I had, it was great until we moved into that one house in upstate New York, which I didn't want to move into, and he started drinking, carousing, cheating. I knew he was cheating. I'd tell him the names of the people, everything. And he drove me down by the river, and he started talking, and I put on, like, my mindset clicked into, I love you, baby, whatever. And it actually saved my life by knowing intuition what to do. And then another night he was hiding behind the kitchen door and I didn't know it. And I came in the house and he started beating me and sat on my chest and was choking me. And my sister was in the car and she was alerted 30 times to get out of the car now, out loud, a voice. So I know that the angels are really with me. And she finally was pushed out of the car physically, and came in the house and actually was able to knock him off of me because, he was going to kill me. So I know about entities and alcohol, all right, because my whole life, my, dad was an alcoholic beater and we lived in terror. And so what I do today is I help a lot of people out of their, traumas. And when I work with you, I know that I'm working with somebody who has a gift that is very powerful, and it's honest gifting, all right? And I really back you up in what you're doing, and I honor your work. So what I want to do is I want to bring in another caller here from the 708 area code and see if they have a question for you. Hello, can you hear me? 708, who are we speaking with?
This is Elizabeth.
Oh, it's Elizabeth. Here we go, Gary. Do you have a question for Gary?
I've had a entity or attachment or something for about 3 years now, and I was wondering if you could tell me anything about if you can detect it or.
Okay, let me see what I get. Now, where are you located, Elizabeth? What state or county or country?
I'm in Maryville, Indiana, USA.
Okay. I'm currently in Ohio, so welcome, neighbor.
How you doing?
Let me see what I get here. Let me see if I can remove it first. And we'll see what it would take to create protection to keep it from coming back. Yeah, I think I can remove it, but it may be coming back again. So let's at least get it clear for the moment. this one feels a little stronger and stubborn. We'll ask a couple of questions. It feels like it was actually an active curse. Somebody sending it. And very strong.
Somebody did something to me, but I don't know what they did.
Okay.
Mhm. But by the way, I'm usually very successful at clearing entities. If it's something where somebody's attacking and sending and sending and sending, that's the one area where I haven't had consistent success, because it's like I can clear, let's say I'm able to clear you, Elizabeth, and then somebody sends it back, or another one, and another one. And I've worked with help teach them techniques to clear themselves and to protect themselves, but that one's a lot trickier, because if you're ending up with somebody who's continually attacking. Is there anything else? Yeah, again, there's an ancestral component to this too, so I think this is something more than I can work with on a quick call. And let me see what I can do one more time to see if I can clear it for now. Yeah, it would be asking your angels to assist with you, asking all these masters to work. I get that for the moment you're clear. I think it's going to take a bit more work to really continue to clear it and keep it clear. Does it feel clear at the moment?
No, not really. It hasn't stopped. It's 24/7, and it's the way that it happened was interesting, because a person did something to me, and then I started feeling electricity, and I had this thing touching me and doing things to me, basically in my lower chakra,
Okay.
and it causes a lot of stress.
Yeah, we can hear that. Wow, I would recommend that you, Elizabeth, get Gary's package with a session so that you can, work on that again. From my perspective here, there are commands. There are commands, because what happened to you is you were weak somewhere. This man, okay, picking up a man energy that did this. And so this person, what do we call it? Astro travels. And so this, might sound like, oh, it's never going to end, but it will end. Everything has a beginning and an end. But once you stand up and say, enough is enough, okay? That's the first step. Number one, take back your power, okay? Because in your voice, I can hear that your throat chakra is closed, where you don't speak up for yourself, and it's taking your power. It's draining you and making you afraid. There's a lot of fear in you. So right now, and anybody else on this call, because I'm sure all of us have times when we feel like we're being chased by a bear. And so your adrenals are really clogged up, and where they are is right above like your waistband. So if you put your hand right there, right now, Elizabeth, and anybody else who feels tired, run down, weak, right there, if you put your one hand there and begin to make a circle with your hand around that area right there to rejuvenate those adrenals, all right? And I'm gonna run some healing energy through them right now. And I'm gonna command that your body become Ooh, let me see. What? Oh, yes. Okay, here we go. Fire. That your body becomes absolute fire. And I don't mean you're burning. I mean them entities and demonic energies from the cursed energy, the jealousy, the spite. Whenever they come near you, they will burn. They will immediately burn. Okay, they will just burn with such burning. They will be turned up 20 times hotter than they ever experience, and they will scream and disappear. And the more they try to come near you, the angels that I'm stationing around you are going to chain them up, okay, and continuously cause them to burn. And this person who sent this curse towards you is going to start to actually physically burn. Every time they think of sending it to you, they're going to physically burn, like they've been burning you. And it will not continue, okay? You are talking to the spirit right now, okay? Because this is serious. That's why I'm so glad that everybody got on this call. And, you know, each person here has something going on, but I want you to take a walk, all right, outside in nature every day, a couple times a day. Get your feet and your hands in the soil, okay, and walk, hug a tree, go near a park, okay, and, you know, take a blanket or something and get away from the house more often, okay? Open the windows in that house, all right? Let the sun shine in, all right? Your bed, okay, where you've been attacked, I want you to salt the bed, all right? Take some salt in your hand, bed, put a bowl of salt water underneath your bed on the side that you sleep on. All right.
I actually worked with you before.
Yes, we're gonna do this. Right, we're gonna do this again. Good girl.
I got rid of my mattress and I had like hundreds of flies the next day.
Yeah, of course, because that's part of it. There's probably some geopathic stress there, and so if you can get a copper. You got to go to a hardware store, and I told Gary this too. Get a copper pipe, all right? A piece of a pipe. It could be 12 inches, whatever. And put it under the bed, okay? Basically for you, it would be and the bottom of your bed, underneath the bed, on the side that you sleep.
Okay.
All right, and that will stop those flies and bees and whatever else, you know, coming towards you. It stops it. There's probably water running underneath the house or a pipe right there. You can switch sides of the bed, you know, things like that. Move the bed if you have to, anything like that. Because I had it here with flies, and I saw online, like, put a bag of water with pennies in it, hang it up, and the flies will go. And they left. But then I said, okay. Then I saw a couple more the next year. I'm like, to stop. And then I realized it was water. And I said, they're drawn to the water under the house. So then I got rid of them. But there's also like energy from, you know, neighbors' homes, whatever. But the old energy of the house, your emotional state of being, right? So I say take a walk. Use Gary's package, definitely. Don't let the negative mindset stop you from getting the help that you're here to receive today. I know Gary cleared what he could. I did what I was just going to do, you know, out here. There'll be more. When you work with Gary, it'll be more powerful too. But you got to keep yourself joyful and not keep dwelling on that, which you cannot change. And before you got on this call, it's already passed. It's over. It's gone. There's no past. How does that feel? You're now in the present moment. So I want you to breathe into I am in the present moment. and say that in your mind. I am in the present moment.
I mentioned earlier with the previous caller about laughter. One of the things I've been trained, like, let's say you're in a situation where there's a gunman in a classroom or something like that, laughter, just uncontrollable laughter will defuse. You got somebody who's out of control, and that laughter, you wouldn't necessarily want to do this one-on-one if somebody was trying to strangle you and kill you. But in a group situation like that, just the laughter can stop the energy of a gunman. And so it's in the same, there's other things too. There's a Taoist technique of igniting the inner furnace called the Hathor, and using that. And a lot of times I'll bring in the violet flame and using the violet flame to burn away and clarify, purify anything that's there. So being able to learn these techniques is really helpful.
Yeah, it is. I'm laughing now, okay? I'm just gonna laugh for the heck of it, all right? I'm laughing at absolutely nothing, all right?
Yeah, and that's it. And there's some beautiful videos online. I've looked at some YouTube videos of twin babies laughing and things along those lines. So you can use things like that. A lot of the YouTube videos about laughter are really about people falling and getting hurt, and I don't find them very funny. But there are some where just, like babies just laughing for no reason. So I love that. So just, in fact, let's take a few seconds and do that. And just
Just start laughing, everybody. Elizabeth, laugh.
And it's okay if you feel foolish.
Just picture the entities in pink polka dotted underwear, okay? And they have no power because we're laughing at them. Just be like, who do you think you are? You're not bothering me. I have more power than you do. So.
and you can trigger the same hormones that laughter produces just by doing a broad, even if it feels like a fake smile, just a huge grin, just paste it on. So like if you're at work, just say, I feel terrible, I really feel like laughter would help me. You can just do this huge grin, almost like the Joker. It's not a positive figure, but it's a good image of that smile, just that big grin.
Yeah, he's got that huge smile.
And if you can do it for at least, minimum of about 22 seconds, 20 minutes or even 3 minutes is even better. It shifts not just your hormones, it actually shifts your brain and the brain chemistry, which is what controls everything.
And it raises your vibration to the point where you can't be touched. Because you're laughing and they were used to you being sad and scared of them. So now if you're like going around, singing a song, I'm the happiest girl in the whole USA, shine on me, sunshine, walk with me, Lord, it's a zippity-doo-dah day, I'm the happiest girl in the whole USA. Them entities are like, what? You know what I mean? We had her. What the heck? She's singing now. She's dancing now. She's laughing now. We can't bother her. She's laughing. Her vibration's too high to bother her. And that's what you do. All right. Laughter is good medicine. It raises your vibration so darn high that good things start showing up in your life. And everything that the dark energies wanted to do backfires to them. It goes right back to their own heads because it's like, sorry, we can't bother them anymore. They're laughing. Right? Gary and Marlena got them laughing today and singing I'm the happiest girl in the whole USA. And that's a song that's easy to sing, and it's on YouTube. I listen to dance music, celebrate good times. Come on, I'm coming out. I want the world to know I got to let it show, things like that. Let me tell you, that will lift up your body. You start dancing in your house and your vibration shifts. All the stress leaves your body with music. So music heals a lot too. Yeah. And Gary, he has had COVID and here he is, right? So how would you get from being so sick, right, to being on a summit going, hey, laughing, okay? How, right? By raising his vibration, right? And kicking that thing out and not giving into it, right? So we don't want you to give into it anymore, Elizabeth. Open your throat and say, I've had it. You're not coming back. You cannot bother me anymore. I am in my power. Back off, right? And start speaking that out loud, right? I am sovereign. I am powerful. I am of divine light, right? If you believe in God, then say, I am of God.
That is some of what I teach.
I am of God, if you believe in God, all right? My angels are here. Anybody want to mess with me? You're going to mess with my angels. You want to mess with me? You mess with my God, right? You get strong. And that thing's going to be like, oh my goodness, we can't bother her anymore. So we shut off their darkness. We turn on the light. When you walk in a dark house, it's dark. And that's what they're looking for, to darken your light.
So
Turn the light on.
Let's see who's next, Mark.
Yes. Okay, so
Let's
Elizabeth,
see
stay on
who's
the
next,
phone. Stay on the line. Okay, so we have area code 707. Good morning.
Good morning.
Who are we speaking with? 707, can you hear me? Or it may be a web caller, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, who are we speaking with?
This is Bianca.
Hi, Bianca, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing all right.
Good, you have a question for Gary, or you want to share something that, is on your heart today?
Yeah, I've just been picking up on some energy, I think, in one little corner of my house, and just wondering if he picks anything up and can maybe help clear something there.
Okay, let me see what I get. And Marlene is actually even better on the house clearing than I am. So let me see what I get first. I guess the house is not clear. Yeah, okay, is it the front of the house that you feel the energy from?
No, kind of like the upstairs corner.
Okay.
Well, I guess it is the front, but the upstairs part.
Okay. Feels like it was something from a previous tenant or occupant of the house or that room. Let me see if we can clear that now or not. whatever, it feels like whatever was there is left, but the energy still needs some more clearing. There's a bit more to be done. You know, it was from a previous occupant or tenant of the room. Yes, it feels like really there who had something that was emotionally disturbing or tragic enough that they couldn't deal with it.
Yep.
And they, yeah, so the overflow of emotions kind of got stuck in the room.
Okay.
Let me see if I can remove it.
Would the clearing help? Your MP3 and the blue light one?
Well, let me do a little bit for right now.
Okay.
Probably it's silent clearing. It feels like something, you know, just a real strong feeling of grief is what I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's weird is I've been in this house now for a few years, and it was only just very recently, and I mean what's interesting is like within maybe a day or two of finding out about this particular call, that it had occurred to me like something had fallen in the room when I was in my office next to it, and I had started kind of just having that creepy feeling of when we don't really use it much for anything other than my baby's clothes or closet is in there. And so it's only just been very recently that I've really felt any discomfort or kind of weirdness in that area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is your house facing north?
That's a good question. I'm terrible with directions.
All right.
I'm not going into too much detail on this. Let me see if I can pick up anything else. It was something about it almost feels like grief and a sense of loss, and it was whoever was doing that, it was like a loss of something in their own identity, in a way that they believed in who they were. Yeah, I'm not sure quite how to put that in words. It's something about
Self-esteem?
could be, unless I'm not getting. It was like they were attacked in a way that really hurt them. So,
Yes.
and it hurt the relationship with whoever was there. So I think that's what would need to be cleared about.
Yeah, I would say get your package.
What you were saying earlier about claiming your own power and sovereignty, doing that for whoever was involved in this, as well as for Bianca. And so, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, you know, for Bianca and family members, just really standing in your power and allowing whoever it was to do this to go back in and clear that energy. So that's the other thing when we do these clearings. Native Americans, indigenous people talk about going back 7 generations, doing things for 7 generations in the future. We not only heal ourselves, but we heal our ancestors, we heal our offspring, we heal our cousins and other family members. So the whole extended family. So just sometimes doing one small clearing can affect tens, hundreds, even thousands of people and more.
Yeah, and I believe in continuing to keep our energy clean, you know, which starts with our mind and our thoughts and emotions about it, you know, the story behind it, right? We all have like a, you know, belief about stuff, and a fear comes on. So fear, you know, keeps in place, right? So what you were just saying, take back your power basically and claim your sovereignty. Right? And now she has an infant, you know what I mean? I can hear the little one loving the call with their cooing and just the energy they're saying yes, right? So with that, what Gary just did, okay, I'm gonna ask you to do something today. Also grab his package. He's gonna speak about that in a few more moments, but put a bowl of salt water in the room and let it sit there for a week, and then take it outside into your garbage can bag and let the garbage men take it away, all right? Because that'll suck up some more of that negative energy in that room. But there's more work that needs to be done in that house. Yeah, because there's actually, Gary couldn't see it, but I can, there's actually an entity that is sitting on the roof. All right? So you definitely want to get the silent house cleansing and the blue light. That comes in package 8, but I would say get a session as well, and the group calls, because the more you address that thing and heal those emotions to it and the thoughts about it, it will clear. All right? But thank you so much for that. I got to move to the next person here. Let me go to Apoorva. Apoorva, can you hear me? Hi. Are you able to speak up a little louder?
Can you hear me better?
Yes, I need Gary to be able to hear you. So, Gary, we have Apoorva on the phone. I've talked to her before. Do you have a question for Gary?
Yes, I do. I'm having anxiety on day-to-day basis, and I'm healing from bipolar. I've been raised by a narcissistic mother, so I stay with her.
You're saying with your mom, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
It's hard to hear you. There's a lot of crinkling in the phone. I don't know if that's Gary moving around or whatever. Try to stay absolutely still for a minute, Gary. So Apoorva, what is happening right now?
I'm having anxiety and I feel tired on day-to-day basis. I try my best to make sure, but I'm not sure. Like I'm trying to clear my karma with her. I'm trying to make peace with her, but not moving forward.
Okay, so you're living with somebody right now and you're trying to clear their energy and you're, tired. I can imagine why. Gary, you want to take that one? Anxiety and exhaustion.
Yeah. By the way, one of the MP3s I have is titled Addiction. It's really about addressing things underneath addiction, and it's about anxiety and really coming to that place of calm I mentioned earlier. So don't let the title addiction pick you off, or for that matter, draw you to it. If it's, it is, I did it specifically because so many people are dealing with addiction. I've had some really good success stories with helping people with addiction, but that's a tough one. Addiction can be a tough one, but the MP3 for that. So let me back to you and where you're at now. Are there any entities? I guess there's about 3 entities to be clear. Let's see if we can do that. Can I get a yes on that? Let me see what I can do about clearing that. So Corbett, I get that your energy field itself is clear at the moment. There's still energy coming from your mom, whatever it is that she's dealing with, that she has connected to her, attached to her old beliefs, is pouring out and affecting you. So just breathe into your heart, fill your heart with love, and just bringing in that prana, the life force energy. Filling your heart with love and compassion for yourself, for your mom, for all of your family members, and whatever's going on with your mom, just sending love and compassion to her. It feels like doing that practice will really clear your own energy field as well. How are you feeling now?
Positive, as if the entities have left and feeling much lighter.
Okay.
I think that is very good.
So for you, just picking up the package for the MP3s may be all you need to work with those if you listen to them. Again, the silent clearing would be helpful because it's just a general one. The addiction one is a meditation connecting in. Basically, it's a quantum field. A lot of times I call connecting into the great central sun, bring in the golden white light, and just bringing that down through all the chakras. And I went through that. But you're doing that. And again, the compassion, sending compassion to yourself, to the world.
Thank you so much.
That's wonderful. Awesome.
Let's do one more, and then we'll do a.
Yeah, I got enough time to do one more. The caller 303. I believe it's. Let me see. Dawn. Can you hear me, Dawn? Is that you?
It is.
All right, we can hear you clearly. Do you have a question for Gary?
I don't know that I think I really have any anti-attachments, but I do work in an environment that's really kind of strange. And yeah, it's one of the schools that had all the shootings and just crazy coworkers.
House cleansing.
Yeah.
Every that's silent, man, I'd be playing it on my phone in my pocketbook.
Okay, so basically.
I also have 14 brothers and sisters, so yeah.
Big family. Yeah.
A lot of energies. And our mother died recently, so lots of craziness going on.
Of course, sibling rivalry. Let's clear sibling rivalry, Gary.
Well, what I'm getting, we need to really work on cutting cords and fibers, with fellow workers, with siblings. I mean, you got a huge family there. Talk about having a lot of possible cords and fibers. Not to not to mention anyone you may have been involved with romantically, sexually, just good, deep friendships. Friendships, you know, you can have people with their own agenda and they want to help you, and what they're wanting to do to help you is like, why can't they be more like me? Here's what I would do. So,
Yeah.
Let me just, actually, whatever I'm going to do for group meditation would be really helpful for you.
Okay.
So, let me check to see if you have any answers. I'm getting this really mixed message. It's kind of like not clear. So it's like there's a lot of things lurking in your fields. I think lurking is a good term. Kind of surrounding you. So it's not something specific to attack you. It's just anything you can do to keep your energy higher. Like laughter is one of the things I was mentioning, but there's a lot more. What I was saying to Apoorva about compassion. Quick story about compassion. For those of you who are familiar with Greg Braden, he talks about, hopefully I get the story pretty close to accurate. He's been to monasteries all over the world, and there was one where he asked the abbot, who has since passed, an elderly man, what is it that created everything in the world, and what is it that connects everything in the world? And he answered in one word for the two questions. And Greg was asking him, talking to him through a translator, what is it that created everything in the world? And he answered compassion. And what is it that connects everything in the world? What's the force that connects everything? Like the quantum field, everything is connected, everything is instantaneous. So when we can use that force of compassion to connect infinite possibilities, infinite abundance, infinite love, but compassion is what connects everything, and it really is a force that created everything. So when you send out that compassion, both for yourself and for others, it changes the energy. Yeah. And my definition of compassion would be unconditional love, without judgments, and with forgiveness. And there's more to it than that, but that's a good start.
Mm-hmm. I work with special ed. So, yeah, I work with special needs kids and stuff, so a lot of compassion I have for them, so. But that helps. And I laugh with, so.
Yeah, and I believe that if you got the silent house cleansing MP3 and, it's silent so no one can even hear that you're doing it, I would play it in school, in the school while you're working. You can keep, turning it back on. And you would see the change in the children, and the atmosphere would clear a lot. Like Gary was saying about the guy who would be, obnoxious in the restaurant, and he connected with the owner, and the owner got the MP3 and started playing it, and the guy would not even go back in the restaurant. He was sending someone else to go because he couldn't bring his, dark energy in there. And when a school has, energy of that, we want to clear it and clear you too. So
yeah.
But by the way, the owners of that restaurant were looking to sell it and have since sold the restaurant.
Yeah, awesome, right?
So they were able to clear the. And that's one of the things too. We can work with. If you have a house for sale and that just isn't selling, and sometimes that's the more expensive homes. Sometimes it's the energy there that needs to be cleared.
There's a lot to that. That's where we work together, and that'll come up soon. We're going to do something with that between feng shui and energy clearing. Both of them work together to sell houses, also clear the ones that people are renting out or going to rent. So that goes deeper. But for this beautiful being here that supports the children that are special, they're golden children, and they have a purpose here. So I'm sending you love and a lot of gratitude for taking care of these precious souls that are the light of the world. Children are the light of the world. They're the joy. And if you
Yeah,
can
and
bring,
with 14 siblings,
yeah,
with 14 siblings. too.
yeah. My uncle had 15 kids, all right, with 2 wives.
Marlena, let's go on. So with, a lot of times we have that, they may be looking, especially after somebody passes, what's in the estate, what's in it for me? So rather than trying to see how they can support each other, just compassion about whatever their needs may be, just compassion.
Yeah.
Sending compassion.
And I'm just,
Looking after yourself, filling yourself with love, and sending compassion out both others and world.
I'm the oldest girl, and so I got a listening to, all of my sisters and stuff, so yeah.
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 I understand that one. So stay on the line, and we got a couple more things to do. But thank you so much. And thank you, Gary, for supporting everybody that we were able to speak with today. We'll have to come back and do another call, of course, so we can get to, everyone. But right now, I'd like to, announce first that the number that I picked today before the call was caller. I just picked a random number and said that's the one, whoever it is going to get the 10 minutes with me after the call. They stay on the line, and every time we have a call, I'm going to do this. So, don't feel like, oh, I didn't win. You still have a chance, all right? Because I'm going to keep a list of everybody. And we're going to do that right now. So, that one is, let me count, okay. Area code 707-400, okay? You know who you are. I don't, there's a list here. So we're just going to go through all that. And then together, Gary, I'd like you to share your packages today, and then we'll do your process.
Okay, I may need some help from you, Marlene, on what I have in there. We did mention the silent clearing. I went into that in some depth. It is totally silent. As I said, I had a sound engineer, also a light worker, by the way, who went through that and cleared all the hisses and pops, so it's totally silent. It really works to elevate energy and create a field of action. I have one entitled Addiction, and that's really about raising your vibrational energy. When somebody is addicted to something, very typically they're in a downward spiral. The energy is just not in a good place. So this is something to clear the energy and to raise the vibrational frequency so somebody gets out of that downward spiral. And you don't have to be in a downward spiral to benefit from listening to that. I was listening to that one before the call. It's a very powerful meditation. I have one on centering. I'm still not clear. I got 2 or 3 possibilities. I'm doing a process of centering and grounding. So I think I started out talking about how sometimes you'll see somebody that's just walking. They look like a Tai Chi master, a martial artist. They're just so centered, so present in their movements. So what would it take for you to be that person who's centered, grounded, and imperturbable to the point where nothing can disturb you? Something pushes it at you, it glances off to the side. It, being so centered. I remember one time, one of the things in my past, I had a motorcycle shop building choppers many, many years ago. And one of the customers, who was a junkie, I ran into him in a bar one night, and he was literally pushing people. This guy was, tall, looked like a Marine, really strong. And he pushed me he caught himself before he hit the floor. So the coach, I just sidestepped and let the momentum pull him forward. So you want to be in that place, so centered, where nothing can disturb you. What else do I have? That's three. What are the other two MP3s I have, Marlena? Do you have a list there?
Yeah, you have the blue light meditation.
Okay, so let me comment on that. The blue light I mentioned earlier, that is creating a shield for protection. It works as a filter. The Berkeley School for Psychics, the Boulder School for Psychics, one of the things they teach is to use a mirrored globe, to surround yourself with a mirrored globe. So if somebody sends an attack to you, the mirrored globe just sends it right back to them. It is effective, it does work. What I don't like about that is it becomes a contest of strength, who's more powerful. The blue light is much simpler. It simply, if something comes your way, it simply stops it, lets it drop, doesn't let it enter your field. This is a meditation on how to create that. It's a real short one. I think I kept it down to about 3.5 or 6 minutes, something like that. And then there was one more in the package.
You have two more. Clearing negative thought form. And then the healing of addictions.
Okay, I think I just mentioned the one about addiction. I did mention that already. And that's, the addiction was about the downward spiral, reinforcing positive. So if somebody is in a place where they're down at 0 or even below 0, they can start picking themselves up. And we all have our moments where we need a lift. So this is one that helps all of us to get to a place that's a higher vibrational frequency and to be invulnerable, to be immune from harm. And the last one again?
The clearing of negative thought forms. We all need that one.
Yeah. Basically, that's just addressing the fact that thoughts are what precede and help to create feelings and emotions. So what is it underneath any negative feelings and thoughts? All of it, the thoughts themselves, the feelings and emotions are only energy passing through. And when you're in a space connected to your divine source, connected to God, to whatever word you want to use for God, where I mentioned using compassion to connect to everything in the universe. When we're in that space and being connected, basically, we're able to let those thoughts come through and transform, transmute, dissolve, and in many cases, they can permanently be gone. So if you're having problems with PTSD, well, this whole package of MP3s can help somebody. A lot of times people with PTSD are afraid to go to sleep because they end up with nightmares, night terrors that wake them up. The point where it can be feel dangerous to go to sleep. So this is something that can help with all of that. So I think that summarizes the package.
Yeah, that's package A. And then in package B, you have mentioned 2 group calls, which you'll get the dates out to us. And you'll get package A with B. If you grab the package B, you'll get all of A and then the B, C, 2 group calls. And package C has a session with Gary. I believe he does it on Zoom. And if you get C, you're going to get A, B, and C, which is the bonus that I would grab myself, which I did grab when I was on your summit 4.5 years ago. And it was a very smart investment for me. I know that you cannot put a price on your well-being, right? So, Gary, how long would a session be with you usually?
Well, I put it down as a 45-minute space, usually about, sometimes I can get results, as you said, very quickly. It might be 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But then, if that's the case, let's say I can get results in 2 minutes or 5 minutes, and we've got a 30-minute, 45-minute block of time to say, what is underneath this? What can we check on? If there's something ancestral, to our mother's side or father's side, is it something from a past life? And so how many lives ago? Most of the people who were attracted to these calls are healers, have been healers in past lives, one form or another. And very often that healing has gone against the established authorities, like churches, very often would persecute people, cast them out, even put them to death, torture them. So any of that may still be in the energy field, in the ancestral field, from past lives or from ancestral mothers and fathers. Maybe a curse put on you, 2 generations, 5 generations, 30 generations ago. Being able to remove that's some of the stuff that we can work on as well.
Awesome. So with that said, your best investment here to me is package C for all of these callers that we had on live today. There's other ones listening, and all you have to do is just go to the link for the website and look under the special offers. I put Gary on top, so it's right there for you all. And don't let the negative energy influence you, not to get your support that Gary is here to offer for all of us today. I'm so grateful for Gary being here with all of us and the support that he was able to give everybody today. It's a gift of his time. So with that said, Gary, would you like to do one of your processes with us all? And then we'll end the beautiful call today, and I will work with the person that gets 10 minutes gifted with me today.
Okay, so what I'm getting to do, this is something I haven't done on a group call previously, is to work with heart wall energy. Number I get is probably about 20% people have heart wall, so the 80% who don't have it can still work. When you're open your heart and are vulnerable, is when you're at the most powerful. Well, vulnerable can feel, the word vulnerable itself can mean that you're easily threatened, that something can come in. So it's learning to have boundaries, to have borders, so that you're allowing in a high vibrational energy. Being vulnerable does not mean defenseless or not having boundaries. So for those who have heart wall, a heart wall is something we've done to protect ourselves. I had a heart wall that was so strong, I wouldn't let anyone near me. It was like 100,000 miles thick of stone. So I was really protecting myself. No one could get near me. And so it took a while to learn how to dissolve that. So let's work on that if you're willing. And again, this is it feels good. So as I was saying earlier I think it was with a Corba, breathing in from behind your heart, taking in that life force energy, the prana, the chi. So taking in a deep breath from behind the heart, filling the heart with love, with compassion for self, other.
Can't hear you, Gary.
Breath you take, with each breath you take in, bringing in more love, more compassion, more life force energy. Breathing in life force energy. As you breathe out, letting go of anything that doesn't belong, anything that's blocking it. If there's walls around your heart, whatever they may be made out of, just allowing them to dissolve or to begin dissolving and softening, allowing in love, allowing in connection. standing in your sovereignty, standing in your strength. Strengthen your own energy field. So this compassion, this love, is the strongest force on the earth. Coming in is golden white light. Gold is the highest frequency of visible light. Creates a level of protection that white light on its own does not have. So surround yourself with a field of golden white light, allowing it to spin around you like a whirlwind, cleansing and removing anything that doesn't belong, anything that's negative. Healing your energy field, your aura, any place where there's any punctures or tears or rips. Letting your energy field be sealed so you have an intact container to hold this energy. So just as a leaky bucket can't hold water, same with an energy field that's not complete. So allowing your angels to support you, your 100,000 angels, being there to guard, to protect, to empower you. All your chakras are spinning in the optimal direction and at the optimal speed. And keeping your energy field fairly close into the core of your body, no more than about 3 feet, no more than about 1 meter from the core. So that as you're going through the day, your energy field is compact. It allows people to approach you, to see your light, that your light is like a lighthouse, attracting those people who are your tribe, your family, your soul family, and keeping away those people who really don't belong in your energy field. So love and compassion, filling your heart, and taking one or both hands, if you have both hands, great, putting them on your heart, feeling that heart energy. Again, breathing in life force energy, breathing in chi, prana, filling your heart. If you have any walls around your heart, begin to let them dissolve, allowing yourself to be accessible and to be there to help other people as well. And knowing that the love itself creates the protection you need. And that there's any place in your body where you're feeling discomfort, use one hand on your heart and place the other hand on that area where there's discomfort. And place a big inner smile in that area where there's any discomfort. Sending love, healing, light, compassion to yourself. And if there's nowhere in your own body where you're feeling discomfort, sending it out for the benefit of others and worlds. And then taking another breath and holding one or both hands out to your side with the palm down toward the earth, letting anything that doesn't belong in your energy field, anything that needs to be released, go into the earth. That just as manure goes into a compost pile and is transmuted into fertilizer, so the earth takes anything you're letting go of any of your garbage, any of your old shit into the earth, letting the earth transmute this into love, connecting in to the heart of the earth, the heart energy of Mother Gaia. And then bringing this up through the soles of your feet, letting it rise up through legs, being amplified by huge, beautiful crystals of earth energy, letting the heart energy, just to clarify, not the stuff you're releasing, but the heart energy of Mother Gaia rising up the connection to the earth and its infinite crystal core, infinite knowledge, infinite connection, rising up as it comes up your legs, your calves, your thighs are surrounded by huge, beautiful crystals of earth energy, amplified energy coming up. Your root chakra going up through the chakras to the crown, being filled with beautiful love, the love of the mother. And saying, Aho, so it is.
So it is. Ooh, beautiful. I actually am feeling angels holding my hands as we're sending the SH down into the earth. It just got stronger. So very powerful, sending the crap down to the earth to be recycled. Awesome. I still feel it, like my hands are being held by my angels. So amazing. Amazing, Gary. You are just incredibly amazing. High five.
Well, thank you. And what you said earlier to the first person we spoke to about going out several times a day, being connected to nature, to the trees, sometimes you can't do that, especially in some place like Indiana where you get a lot of times where there's just not very good weather. We have winter coming on in this part of the world. If you're not able to go out, you can connect to the earth by sending energy down from the root chakra, from the bottom of your feet, like a beam of light into the center of the earth and connecting, or visualize roots coming down from the bottom of your feet, going 5 miles deep, 8 kilometers deep into the earth.
Yeah.
5 miles wide on every side. So you have these roots connecting in to the earth.
Mm.
And then bringing the earth energy and the nourishment back up to the bottom of your feet, as I was saying, and being amplified by the crystals of earth energy as it rises up your legs and fills you. So you can connect in and ground that way. There's hundreds of ways to ground. So if you have techniques that are already working for you, use them. And if not, just in some other ways. You can go out in nature, just a simple act of sitting under a tree or putting your palm on the trunk of a tree, making a connection. So grounding and earthing are very important.
Yeah. So who would you say, Gary, is the best candidate for your package offering today? Would it be good for everyone?
Well, the MP3s would be good for everyone. If somebody's called to, like I'm ready for the next step in my growth. The group calls, what I'll be doing is some more clearings and meditations. I'll be doing, I will be doing some more individual work on the group calls. They'll be limited to about an hour in time, just the constraints of what I have on Zoom. I can go a little bit over too. And the individual sessions are more like a deep dive.
Mm.
So if you really are ready for the next step, I mentioned with addiction, the downward spiral, so being able to pull yourself up. People talk about lifting yourself up by your bootstraps. Sounds good. How do you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Being able to connect in to the angels. That's the biggest gift I have, is being able to connect in to that divine source energy and transmute the Christ consciousness.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
and
gift.
You don't have to be Christian to connect into Christ consciousness.
Exactly. People don't realize that, even if they are, we'll say, atheists, right? They have some form of, spiritualist or something. So, they meditate, right? And when they're meditating, they're calling into Christ consciousness, and they don't realize it. And I've actually had atheists listen to some of my YouTube videos and write back to me and say, something actually happened to me and it feels so good. And now they're, you know, like drawn to me. So they're starting to believe in what we're doing, right? When they were in the darkness, the darkness is leaving their life. So it's amazing how when you connect with people with, you know, high vibrational gifts, like Gary has and I have, how your life changes rapidly. And so your thing was to bring back their joy, their peace, their enthusiasm for life, you know, to live their life in joy. And that's what you're bringing forward to the table for everyone in this season that we're in right now, because there's not a lot of joy going around. So we had a laughter session today, right? So I call it laughter therapy. And I enjoyed it because I love joy and I will laugh at anything, nothingness. I'll just start laughing, you know, and it's good medicine. Like I said, people have actually been healed from diseases such as cancer by laughing. And I'll share this quick story before we end the call. There was a man in the hospital. The doctor came in and gave him 6 weeks to live. He had cancer. And the guy turned around and said, "Doc, are you coming to my funeral?" He said, "No." He said, "Well, I'll be at yours." And he went home and he started playing every comedy, everything, you know, that was joyful, and he's still alive. Okay? I don't know if the doctor is, but he is. So he made that decision, all right? When the doctor gave him the negative word, he turned it around. And, you know, the doctor was probably stunned because he was used to getting negative, you know, responses and crying or whatever. But instead he got power. He got power back in his face, you know, like, I'm in charge, all right? So this is it. We come back into our empowerment by receiving the support that is coming to us at the time when it's much needed. So our higher self is calling out for this support today. And Gary is, you know, gifting us all with his spiritual gifts. And so, like I said, you put a price on your well-being, and that's overall well-being. And it starts in the emotions and the mind, and it goes to the heart. And when it gets to your heart, that's where it starts taking effect. So it could be a positive effect or a negative effect. And from what we experienced on this call today, people are hurting, and you can give them that support. So all you have to do, everyone, is, you know, make a conscious decision for yourselves, okay, that you were drawn to the call for a very divine reason today. It is like an opportunity knocking on your door. Here's Gary offering that golden opportunity to turn that doorknob in your life to take the next step up, okay, on your journey. All right, we're not going backwards anymore. We're going forward and up, okay? And so all you have to do now is make the choice of what package would be most supportive to you. If you want to work further with Gary, he's opened that door for you. Go to the website, audibleangels.com, and click on special offer page. And Gary's offer is right there for you. Very simple to get. As you can see, he's loving, compassionate, soft-spoken, easygoing, and compassionate love is what I feel coming from him 24/7. All right, so thank you so much, Gary. Do you have anything else you want to share before we conclude today?
No, thank you for everyone for being on the call. Yeah, my mission is really to be creating enlightenment and joy for self and others.
Yeah, I know it is. Joy is the word. And actually, joy is my word. And it's right on the wall next to me in big red letters, JOY. And for me, it means jump over yourself. And people don't understand that, but it's jump over yourself. Because when you jump over yourself, you are jumping into joy and expansion because your self holds you back, okay, into an old little box and refuse to be held in that box, all right? So I step out and I just do things that I'm supposed to do. I don't wait. I take immediate action, all right? And that's what keeps me going through all the things that I have faced in my life, and I just keep going. I go around it, over it, under it, wherever. I'm not staying stuck. I refuse to stay stuck. So I'm so grateful for this call today, and everybody who called in will get a free gift when I send out replay for you. It will come in your email, just a blessing from me from being a part of this new community here. We're all going to send Gary some beautiful love towards him right now with gratitude and thanks for showing up today and sharing your beautiful gifts with us all. We all benefited today, believe me. So we thank you, Gary. I'm going to end the call right now. I'm going to work with the winner here, the 707-400 number. That person stay on the line. If Gary wants to stay, that's fine. But thank you, everybody, and I hope to see you and bring some friends and join this community. You'll get an email when I'm gonna do my next call and who's speaking. So thank you so much. Have an awesome day of divine love and light. Blessings to you all.
This session is no longer being recorded.